Mr. Goulet. I'm an alum. I graduated in 1999, and I teach English. Currently the English department chair.
Andrew Jareki, and I'm a junior.
So I'm Mr. Jacobs. I graduated from Holy Ghost in 2001, currently the director of IT.
Michael McKenna, I'm a junior here at HolyGhostPrep.
I had known about Campout for years. I'm a big Preston and Steve listener on the way to school in the morning. And I had met with Mike Jacobs, who I know is also a fan, and we basically looked at each other and said, why are we not doing this? It's set up for us, it's easy, we need to get the school involved, and we kind of said we were late to the game the first year. And we said, let's just see what we can do year one, and then each year we've just built upon it.
So Mr. Goulet will blame me, and I'll blame Mr. Goulet. The two of us just have a passion for the Preston and Steve show and Phil Abundance and the area that we grew up in, right, the Philadelphia area in the suburbs. And when you start to listen to the show and listen to Phil Abundance kind of advertise what they're doing, it really hits home for us in that there's so many people that need just basics. You know, how good we have it. There's still people out there that need food every day just to get by. Kids who go to school who don't eat meals other than what they get at their school or things like that. So Mr. Goulet and I said we have to do something. We have resources here at the school. We have community service. We've got students. We've got people here to get behind. And Phil Abundance gives us that opportunity to help. So Phil Abundance takes it the rest of the way. We just help, sort of bring awareness to it and raise some food for them every year.
I had initially spoken with, at that time, freshmen. And I said, we're going to try to start a service project. You guys can get on the ground floor, essentially freshman year, and if we can grow it, by the time you're seniors, you could basically lead it. And Mr. Jacobs and I would kind of be secondary and step back. And two or three students jumped right in, offered to help us kind of organize things and promote things, and they've been great since.
So freshman year, I think it was our first year doing it as a school, and I was in Mr. Goulet's class, and he, I guess, promoted it because he wanted us to collect cans and all that. So I think one day after his class, I just asked him to ask if I could get involved, because growing up, my dad always listened to Preston and Steve, and we have the same sense of humor, so I started to like them. So I figured it'd be a great opportunity for me to get involved in the community, like the wider community outside of Ghost.
Freshman year, it was my friend Andrew, who's I'm pretty sure also being interviewed for that, came up to me and he asked me if I wanted to do it with him because he was approached by Mr. Goulet, or he approached Mr. Goulet, one of the teachers that leads it, about helping out with the Camp Out for Hunger. And I was like, yeah, of course, I'd love to do that. So basically what we did that first year is we helped them move all the bags and whatnot of stuff we had for Camp Out for Hunger into our van, and then we drove down to the Camp Out for Hunger site and we turned it all in.
As soon as I find out the dates, and Preston and Steve have been great. We have a relationship with them now. If I have questions or have ideas, I can contact them. They get right back to us. They've been great with assisting us in the whole program and getting it started. But as soon as I get the dates, Mike Jacobs and I and the students will put up flyers. We'll have bins all around campus, and that will kind of, we promote it through the morning announcements, through Schoology. Now that we have the TV show, that's going to be huge for us moving forward with kind of the promotion of it. And then once it's started, now we're in year 3, it's really kind of runs by itself.
So I know Mr. Goulet will give like free points, quiz points and test points and things, but to be honest, our students don't mind getting involved with just a simple ask. It's also easy to get the parents involved. So if you tell mom or dad, hey, we're collecting for Phil Abundance, they'll send their son in with food and drop it off, and the students will show up and be like, I don't know, my mom gave me this, like, what do I do with it? But we're happy to take it. It's pounds of food, and we're happy to take it anyway. So it's great. And then you do have the student that goes even above that, right? You'll have students that get involved and they help and they donate, but then there's the students out there that actually help promote it. They talk to their friends, they talk to their friends' parents and say, we're doing this food collection, would you help us out? They'll put the boxes out, they'll go to Home Depot and buy these giant cardboard boxes and put the label on there and stick them in places where they think kids will drop off food. So we had them in the library and Mr. Goulet's classroom and my office and that kind of thing. And yeah, you just try all the different usual places for advertising.
Yeah, I had Mr. Goulet freshman year when we started, and I was in his class, and he always seemed like a great teacher and a great guy. So I figured, especially if it was him approaching me for this, I'd love to help Mr. Goulet out in any way as well. To me, I think that it's important to like give back and help the community, because if it were me in that situation, I'd absolutely appreciate the help, and I couldn't imagine what my family would be like going through that situation. So I'd like to try and put myself in their shoes and think, is this helpful? And I'd say yes, so I'd like to help people out. That's just my big thing.
The first year when we collected 600 pounds, we thought that was great. We stuck it in a van and put some kids in the van and took it down to Phil Abundance and dropped it off and donated. The second year, we couldn't bring as many kids because we had so much food. We had almost 2,000 pounds of food. We had to fill up the van. And the third year, we took 2 vans, and that was cool. This past year in November, we filled up, and one van was just food, and the other van was for passengers, to come with us to unload the food. So yeah, maybe next year we'll do a U-Haul truck or something like that. Just make it bigger every year. And it's awesome when we pull up and we open up the back of the van and it's just full of donations for Phil Abundance. It's really, really a good time.
Our goal is 4,000. We'll see if we get to that. I want to say, knock on chair right here, that we will. It'll take a lot of work and a lot of promotion and a lot of generosity from our families and from all the students, and even alumni families have contributed. So it's a total kind of community networking thing that's happening. But that's our goal. I don't know, at one point we'll stop setting goals. Mike Jacobs and I talked to imagine if we get to 30,000 pounds. I'm like, let's not worry about that right now. We'll kind of, we'll grow this thing as it happens. But it's been a great means to get everybody connected and together in the fall.
I mean, if we start early enough and if we promote it enough, I'm sure we could definitely get to that goal.
I'd love to go and do that again next year. It's a great experience to go, and then you get to see and talk to the Preston and Steve. Obviously, that's a big thing because they're kind of famous. But you get to go and you get to help out, move stuff around.
Actually, but you know who is here, and I want to turn our microphone on out front. Marissa, one of our coolest teachers. I see him wearing a shirt right over here. We love our teachers. Come on over. But you can pull your mask down while you talk on the mic, and we've met before. Tell everybody your name.
I am Justin Goulet from HolyGhostPrep.
All right, and Justin and HolyGhostPrep, you emailed us a little while back, right?
Yes, yeah, I wanted to make sure I could bring, I have Mr. Jacobs here, I have Andrew, Michael, and Rocky, some of our students.
Nice.
We set a goal of 2,000 pounds, and we had 3,300 pounds this year.
Holy Ghost. There you go.